Good evening, everyone. I'm just packing to go on a 2-day trip to Frontenac Provincial Park, and I just realized that I've never actually done a video on the equipment I take. As far as it goes, not a whole lot of name brand stuff. I've been scoping out new equipment as I go. I really only started camping, interior camping, around like last August. So I've been upgrading my gear slowly, buying nice things when I can, but for the most part everything is lightweight and very user-friendly. So I guess I will start with my bare essentials. So this would be my new field tent. I got it on eBay, roughly $55. Half decent tent, love it. I've done a video where I set it up. 2.3 kilograms, so it's fairly lightweight aluminum. Two-person tent. Well, it says four-person tent, but really it's a two-person tent, and you got to be kind of snugly. So it's not the greatest for size-wise. Next, I have my Kelty Recluse 2.5i inflatable. Not many people have videos online with inflatable sleeping pads. Everyone seems to go with the Thermarest. But I've had no complaints. I have a self-inflating one, but this definitely beats it. Lightweight and keeps me off the ground in the wintertime. I love it. This is just a compression sack with just my mummy sleeping bag in it for my summertime bag. Very light. I usually just put it over my feet anyway. I don't really use it much, but it's nice to have a blanket. Makes you feel safe, I guess. But more for comfort than it is for anything else. I picked up this bag earlier in the year. It's a Ridgeway by Kelty. I think it's a 80 liter. A little big for just myself camping. I tend to have quite a bit of room left. But when I go on winter solos and winter double camps, the space is always nice to have. So nice big sleeping bag compartment. My winter bag fits in the bottom, which is perfect, so can't complain. It's been a good bag so far. Move over to, I guess, what I wear. I got a hat from Mark's Work Warehouse. It's perfect. I also picked up what I wear on the outside most of the time. Just a lightweight Wind River, stretchy, breathable button-up shirt. And always the Wind River zip-off khakis. Basically, you can get away with bringing one pair of pants for everything you want to do. I always bring 2 pairs of wool socks. These sleeping socks I bought for the winter time. They're very, very, very fluffy, as you can see. I probably won't bring them because this camping trip's in June, so I won't be bringing that. But I always bring an extra t-shirt and down here my fleece. So that's, if it gets a little cool, I'll put on the fleece, but mostly I just bring it for a pillow. I stuff it in a little stuff sack, and that becomes my pillow. Always bandana. I tend to sweat a lot, so usually this just get used as an actual bandana on my head. But if need be, you can filter water and all those good things. Everyone always says bring a bandana, so there it is. I guess we'll start left to right, like reading a book. Just my black diamond headlamp. Nothing special. Like, as long as you can see. A lot of people talk about their headlamps. They're infatuated with them, but I'm not too picky. I think it's 55 lumens, but I can see plenty. I always bring another light just in case it fails. I'm not in the bush long enough to bring spare batteries. I usually change them every couple trips anyway, but if you have 2 lights and they both fail, then, well, I guess you're shit out of luck. I usually bring some sort of muscle relaxant, Relaxaset jobby. Plenty of good uses for that if you're banged up. Usually just sits in the bag anyway. Sunscreen in the summertime. No one likes sunburn. I got some pit stick. May or may not use it depending on where it gets in the bag and if I forget about it. My essentials bag. Oh, do have spare batteries. I knew I was prepared. Anyway, spare batteries, spare lighter, toothbrush, and a marker, so when I plan my next trips with the maps I bring, I can mark on them with that marker. May not need this. The bugs should be gone. I went out in May and I didn't even take this out of my bag, so I may leave this at home, but always nice to have it's a very, very light bug jacket. Seems to take up a lot of room, but you can pack it anywhere and it weighs nothing, so I'll be bringing that. I always wear a compass around my neck, just in case. Take quite a few orienteering courses in my life. I don't know, it's just a little safety precaution that I take. So, just a little bag of dryer lint. I'm pretty confident in my ability to start fires, but on those wet days and can't find any birch bark, it's always nice to have this. But I take this especially in the wintertime. I have little pieces here that have petroleum jelly on them. In the winter, when everything's wet, it's can be tough to start a fire, and you need the fire. So basically, this is always sitting in my bag. You'll never find me bringing a hatchet with me. I don't see the point in wasting that much energy. So I usually just bring a handsaw, and this is just a pruning saw from Lowe's. Very sharp, and hasn't broke on me yet. I've used it 5 or 6 times. I find the stuff I bought at the actual outfitting stores just breaks. So the stuff that is built to be used every day tends to be a lot better. Half decent weight, but chews through a lot of wood, so I enjoy that. Gloves. When processing wood, I always wear gloves because nothing pisses me off more than a splinter. So, gloves are key. Move to the middle. Muskol. I always get the lotion. Like I said, I probably won't bring this. Bugs don't normally bug me, but if I was to bring it, I would always bring the Muskol rub. Don't buy the aerosols. They don't work half as good as these. So that's a good one right there. I usually bring a hard cigar case with another lighter in it for around the campfire. Right in the middle of the table, first aid kit, just a general one. Added some stuff to it. I put some water purification tablets and stuff like that in there. Always take it with me. Never had to use it yet, but when you do, you want it to be there. I bring 4 different lengths of rope. With carabiners attached to the ends already. Usually I don't have to string up a tarp, but if I do, I have enough for all 4 corners if I really needed to. But generally I just hang it with 2, and always one of these will be the bear bag hanging string. So I typically just bring more rope than required because you don't know what you're going to use it for. I picked this up on the weekend. I'm excited to use it. It's a Sea to Summit see-through, I don't know if the 8 liter see-through dry bag. So I'll probably be putting all of my general knickknacks, my headlamp and stuff, and my camera cases and extra batteries, that sort of thing, all in here. My book, what have you, just to keep it dry. And also with the see-through, you can see what's in there, so you can find things easily. My second bag back here is just a regular dry sack 8 liter from Canadian Tire, I do believe, and I'll be sticking my clothes in that because typically I don't go in my clothes bag until night anyway, so I don't really need to see what's in it during the day. My knives, I bring 2 knives. This knife here, I think it's just called the Bear Grylls Ultimate. I think it's an 8-inch straight blade. Been very handy. Took a little damage on it last time, splitting wood with it, but it's been a great knife, no complaints. I wear the sheath on my bag with the fire steel. Typically I just start all my fires using that. Very handy, no complaints. And this is just the little switchblade one. It's just a knife. Nice grip on it. I whittle wood with it, whittle spoons and whatnot. So Can't complain. And I got them fairly cheap. eBay. I'm telling you guys, stop buying stuff at Outfitters all the time. It's nice to go to them, look at stuff, buy some stuff, but eBay is where you get the cheap stuff. Um, Speaking of eBay, back here I have my stove. He's open up, obviously, on each side, with a Omni fuel canister. I gotta go out and get one for the trip, but that stove right there, $45 online. I've used it 6 or 7 trips now, and starts without fail. So I've been very happy with that. This is just a mess kit I got. 3-piece mess kit from Katadyn Tire. It's been pretty good. Very lightweight, very non-stick, and it was cheap. I think it was under $30 at Katadyn Tire. The only problem I've had is, as you can see, the handle snapped off in the winter. I was getting snow off the lake to boil, and it was a little crustier than I thought, and snapped the handle right off it in the cold weather. So yeah, just a typical flask. I think it's a 7 or 9 ounce flask. Perfect for just one person. You fill that up with some whiskey, and typically gives you one good night of a buzz, and then the next night you suffer. So I go very lightweight when I'm by myself. I typically don't pack a lot of food, and a lot of variety of food, because I'm not that picky. I'm out for the outdoors, not the gourmet side of things. Generally, I just bring one thing of Mio and a couple Crystal Lights just to spruce things up a bit, for some variety. But generally, Mio. Water bottles usually got some in it, just nicer than drinking filtered lake water all the time. So, like I said, 2-day trip. So I'll bring 4 Cliff Bars, 2 per day. Usually 1 on the hike, and then 1 while sitting around the campfire late at night. I'm probably going to pick up, with my flask, I'm going to pick up either ginger ale or Pepsi. Generally ginger ale. And probably some wine gums. So wine gums, Ryan ginger, and a Cliff Bar is usually my snack. That would be 2 packs of oatmeal for each morning. Usually I pack Bannock, but not this time. Just one person. I'm doing quite a long hike, so instead of sitting up there and making Bannock in the morning and just enjoying it by myself, I'm just gonna say screw it and go with the double oatmeal breakfast, tried and true. I tend to drink a lot of tea, so I just pack more tea than I think I can even drink. Stevia packs, basically aspartame in a bag, whatever. That's what the wife has, so it's what we drink. And whitener, because I don't really like drinking it black, so probably not good for you, but there it is. So I'll probably have, sometimes I even have one midday, get my pot out, boil one while I'm sitting eating lunch, and just have a nice tea, big tea drinker. The camera I'm using right now, my fiance got it for me for my birthday. Nice JVC, yeah, JVC video camera. Got a nice hard case for it. And this tripod, it's actually quite nice. Folds and bends in every which way. Can wrap around anything really. So I take that with me, strap it on the outside of my bag, and try and hopefully get some nice shots with it. I showed you the mess kit, the pots and pans, but I bring this as well, just a Tupperware, and I usually stuff into it. Probably not going to bring these, or I might put some jam or something in that for the oatmeal. Generally I put peanut butter and honey for the Bannock, but probably won't need them. But this is what I eat out of. Spork fits in there nicely. Stuff some more stuff in there, close it up. You got your plate, a container, another water dish, anything you want. Nice to have. This is probably the nicest purchase and the smartest purchase I've ever done. I was at sale, and I was tired of carrying in water, and I started extending my trips. So when you do that, you need a water filter, and the Katadyn Hiker Pro was perfect. Pumps, wow. If you go online, you can find out how many liters of water it pumps per minute, but it's more than enough for me. I'll show you my next piece here, and I'll go back to the Hiker Pro. This is just an MSR hydrometry, basically a big water bladder. I didn't get the one, there was one that had like strings and more holes, grommets I guess you call them, but this one only had the one. I don't know what the difference is. I'm sure there's a name for this one, but I'm excited to use it. I just got it on the weekend down at Trailhead in Kingston. Before I would just bring 2 bottles like that. One I would fill, one I would fill and put Mio in, and the blue one, I had a pink one. So pink one was Mio, blue one was cooking water and whatnot. But I found I was filling them up too regularly that I decided to go with a bladder. So let's hope that works out. Fill it when I get to the campsite and use it all night, and we should be okay. So excited to try that. And the Katadyn is perfect. Love it. Just started getting into these recently. Just too handy, especially with one person. Just Mountain House meals in a bag. So 1 per night. Chili macaroni with beef sounds good, and the other one, Mexican style rice and chicken. Less excited about that one, but whatever. I'll be hungry, so I'll be crushing those all the same. I used to cook a lot of, I'd bring my own pastas and pasta sauces, double bag the sauces, of course. And that was nice, you know, it was okay. I tend to bring a lot of soups and chilies and whatnot, but it's more for in my fall and winter camping. So, like I said, on the last trip I started using those, and I have a couple left over, so I might as well use them. So, I'll be using nothing but those for dinner on my trip. That's about it. Like it's not a lot of gear. Well, I guess I bring a towel for general cleanup. Actually, usually most of the time I just stick it in my pots and pans so they don't jingle around and scare off all the wildlife while I walk. But I tend to see a lot of videos online with a lot of gear. But one person, a couple days in the bush, you don't really need much. All packs up nicely, and it's all fairly lightweight. So, anyway, I'll be taking a video of the trip. I hope you enjoyed my insight into what I bring camping, and hopefully you enjoy the footage of the trip. Bye for now.